Your next laptop is going to be unbelievably fast, but its base price just skyrocketed globally, and the real reason why is hidden deep inside the silicone. We're cutting right through the confusing benchmarks and tech jargon today to explain exactly what's happening inside the market and inside your very next machine.
So to figure out this bizarre paradox of skyrocketing costs colliding with massive performance leaps, we're staging a direct head-to-head battle. We're talking the big three: Apple's brand new M4 architecture, Intel's Core Ultra, and AMD's Ryzen AI. Pitting them against each other gives us this incredibly clean look at who's actually winning the performance war, and honestly, more importantly, what it means for your daily workflow and, of course, your wallet. Right off the bat, the absolute heart of any computer is raw processing power. To really get how these chips stack up, you've got to look at how they handle different tasks. Think of single-core performance like a sprinter. It's all about how fast the chip can handle one really intense instant task, like, say, opening a massive high-resolution photo. Multi-core performance, on the other hand, that's your master juggler. How well can it handle a dozen browser tabs, streaming music, a background file download, and a heavy video render all at the exact same time? Well, in both of these races, the Apple M4 chip completely outclasses the competition in raw processing benchmarks. I mean, it's literally in a totally different league. But hey, numbers on a chart are just numbers. How does that actually translate to you? The real-world impact of that power gap is honestly pretty shocking. Let's look at DaVinci Resolve. The M4 absolutely flew through a heavy video export, finishing the whole thing in under 8 minutes. Meanwhile, the AMD Ryzen machine took over 13 minutes, and the Intel Core lagged behind it nearly 14 minutes. Just let that sink in for a second. For a totally common creative task, the M4 is almost twice as fast. Imagine a little stick figure of a TikTok creator just furiously editing a video. Switching to the M4 isn't just some tiny spec bump. It massively reduces export times and completely transforms their daily workflow. We're talking about saving real, valuable time every single day.
But honestly, this next point, this is the historical game changer. For years, Windows PCs had this fatal flaw. Plugged into the wall, sure, they give you peak performance. But the exact second you unplug them, older Intel and AMD chips throttle heavily. They intentionally slow themselves down just to save battery life, and you can really feel that lag. The Mac, however, just stays blazing fast. So the absolute crucial takeaway here is that if you're working from a local coffee shop or editing on a long flight, the M4 is going to deliver the exact same peak performance you'd normally only get sitting at your desk. But don't count the Windows world out just yet, because they are fighting back hard. Intel has executed this massive comeback with their new Core Ultra 9 chips, specifically leveraging their Panther Lake architecture. They finally solved the unplugged problem. With this new chip, there is virtually zero performance drop when you pull the plug. How'd they do it? They introduced what they call low-power island E-cores. Think of these as tiny, highly efficient processing cores designed specifically to handle light tasks, stuff like web browsing or Office apps, using just a tiny fraction of the electricity. Because of these E-cores, these new Intel machines are suddenly pushing massive 12-plus-hour battery life. They're finally matching Apple's unplugged endurance. So if the hardware is getting this incredibly good on both sides, how on earth do you choose? Well, it really comes down to the compatibility divide. If you want pure, raw, unadulterated power and creative speed, the Mac is the undisputed champion right now. But, and this is a massive but, if your job relies on specialized software, like specific engineering programs, heavy data modeling software, or advanced Excel features that simply do not exist on Mac OS, then a Windows machine isn't just a nice option, it's an absolute necessity. At the end of the day, you have to buy the tool that actually does your specific job. Now, we need to talk about the stark economic reality of buying one of these incredibly powerful machines right now. $240 USD. That is the sudden, approximate price hike that just slapped the base models of Apple laptops. And we're seeing similar premium price floors being set across the entire high-end Windows laptop market too. You're probably wondering, why is this happening right at the exact moment when the hardware is getting so incredibly good? Welcome to what the industry is actually calling Ramageddon. Let me demystify these price hikes for you. The global AI boom is absolutely exploding right now. Companies are building massive server farms to train AI, and those servers require astronomical amounts of chips, specifically RAM and SSDs. Because chip manufacturers make way higher profit margins selling to these giant AI server companies, they're hoarding their manufacturing capacity for them. This creates a severe shortage for consumer laptops. The end result? The cost of RAM and SSD components has spiked 20% to 30% in just a matter of months. This economic reality is forcing the base price of premium laptops, both Mac and Windows, well above $1,600 USD. You aren't just paying for a faster computer anymore, you're literally competing with global AI corporations for the exact same silicon. Speaking of AI, that exact same global boom is fundamentally changing how these laptops are built to process AI locally on your device. To really understand it, you need to understand tokenization. Basically, tokenization is the process of chopping words and phrases into tiny pieces called tokens, so an AI can understand and respond to you quickly. The faster a computer processes these tokens, the more natural and fluid your AI assistant feels. And here is where the M4 pulls ahead yet again. It's built from the ground up to leverage its powerful graphics processor, the GPU, to process these tokens. A lot of standard Windows machines still rely way too heavily on the main brain, the CPU, which leaves all that extra graphics power just sitting uselessly on the sidelines.
The reason Apple can pull this off so effectively comes down to an architect's secret. It's called unified memory. Think of unified memory as a massive single pool of extremely high bandwidth RAM that is shared instantly by the CPU, the GPU, and the NPU, which is the neural engine designed specifically for AI. See, in a traditional laptop, the CPU has its own RAM, and the graphics card has its own completely separate video RAM. By combining them into one massive pool with incredible bandwidth, the integrated graphics suddenly have the power and the space of a massive separate graphics card. This allows you to run huge, heavy local AI models right there on a thin and light laptop. And the reason this unified memory is so radically fast comes down to what engineers call the zero-copy advantage. Let's break it down. In an older system, if the CPU processes data and then needs the graphics card to render it, the system literally has to copy that data over a bridge to the graphics card's memory, and that takes time. But with unified memory, step 1, the CPU processes data. Step 2, the GPU reaches into the exact same memory pool instantly. Step 3, absolutely zero data copying is required. It completely eliminates the data transfer bottleneck. This is the exact reason why those DaVinci Resolve rendering times and AI tokenization speeds on the M4 are just so staggeringly fast. We are truly entering a fascinating new era here, with Intel's new chips offering matching battery life and incredible multi-core performance, and Apple's unified memory delivering just unprecedented raw graphical and AI speed. The hardware on both sides of the aisle is reaching a point of absolute parity. The days of your laptop dying in 2 hours are totally over. Which leaves us with a final provocative thought to chew on for your next upgrade. As the raw hardware capabilities of these machines become virtually identical, does your choice of operating system actually start to matter less? Or does it begin to matter infinitely more as the unified memory ecosystem and total software flexibility become the absolute only things separating them?
If you enjoy this video, please like, share, subscribe and hit the bell to the later update from my channel. Thank you for watching till the end and see you in the next video.